G'day guys, Ron here from Osborne Digital Marketing. Today we're going to review shineranker and we're going to compare it against SEM Rush and Ahrefs. Let's jump into it. Alright, as you can see I'm on the shineranker website. So shineranker is an SEO tool released by Chase, and it's only been around now, I think maybe 6 months. I think off the top of my head, I think it's been around about 4 or 6 months. And the purpose of this was to go against the big boys. So against SEM Rush, against Ahrefs. Because honestly, paying for those services costs an arm and a leg. It's hundreds of dollars a month. So we're going to dive into a review. We're going to see how the shineranker competes against Ahrefs and if it's worth the money. Let's just jump straight into it. So this is the back end of the shineranker. As you can see, we've got two projects set up here as examples, and we're going to jump into it and we'll chat about the features first, what shineranker has to offer, and we'll compare that against Ahrefs and SEMrush, and we'll see how they differ, and then we'll go through it in detail. So the good thing about the shineranker is you can have projects very similar to Ahrefs and the other two platforms. Basically, they have projects. You can have tracked keywords in shineranker. You have keyword research you're able to do. So that's where you can look for keywords that, let's say you're trying to target a plumber in Miami. You can literally type in plumber in Miami and you can get the results with a bit of keyword research. If you grab a domain, so let's say it was my domain or a domain right here, you can actually see what the traffic going to that domain is with shineranker. It has a content editor. So if you're familiar with Surfer or phrase.io, it's very similar to that. The keyword competitor, so that's where you can analyze what keywords your competitor is utilizing. The Shine Audit tool. So Shine Audit tool is kind of similar to Screaming Frog. It's just not as in detail, and you have the lead list. So the lead list is a very new feature. It was released 2 weeks ago. And what this does is basically it tracks leads that of anyone that enters on to the widget that you've placed on your website. So they're basically what the tool has to offer. Let's just jump into some comparisons. When it comes to all of this, basically SEMrush and Ahrefs, they offer the exact same thing. So they do offer the same capabilities and probably a bit better capabilities compared to the shineranker. When it comes to the lead list, I will have to give it to shineranker. It's absolutely brilliant. So here's a couple, just installed it the other day. And it does look quite good. It finds the emails, it has the emails of the individual, obviously, the domain. These are just a couple of test ones. Apparently we're being contacted by Apple. Awesome. Tim Cook hitting us up. So yeah, just checking all of this information out. It's quite cool. When it comes to the lead option you have from SEMrush, it's terrible. Honestly, it's terrible. The client gets spat out a small bit of information and they gain no value from it. They get a percentage score. It says 80%. Your website health is 80%. I don't even know what that means. What does that mean? What are the problems? What's wrong with it? What needs to be fixed? It's really terrible. Honestly, it's terrible. But I do like with the shineranker, if we jump over to my website now where we've just installed it, free website order button. What I like about it is it spits back a ton of information. So if we jump on, it actually gives us a lot more information. Tells us response time, tells us a bit of a score, tells us Google Analytics. But not only that, you can scroll across and you can start to check other information as well. That's really cool. So that's really, really cool. But I can't obviously show you the SEMrush one because I've uninstalled it. But compared to the SEMrush one, like SEMrush is just, it's a no-hoper compared to the shineranker. So I've got to give the lead gen tool to shineranker. So if we come back to the main page, let's jump into some keyword research. So let's see how the tracking of the keywords I found with shineranker is similar to Ahrefs and SEMrush. It's okay. I find a lot of the time SEM Rush and Ahrefs can be out with its tracker. We, in my agency, we utilize SEM Rush. I no longer really utilize Ahrefs for a lot of work because I think they've fallen behind the ball. I think SEM Rush is far superior to Ahrefs. So that's why we utilize them. When it comes to tracking, Ahrefs, I would say it would still go SEM Rush, Ahrefs, and then shineranker. So when it comes to the keyword research, however, I think something cool about the keyword research is the fact that they have the in-title results. So all in-title results basically means if we were to enter a keyword, so let's say we're going to have a look at Miami gym. Let's have a look at that. So basically what happens is now the tool's going off and it's having a look to see how many keywords. And then what we can do is we can activate it, activate it to look at the in-title results. So you hit select all, scroll back up, check selected in-title results. And as you can see here, it spits out results. So Miami gym, it's saying that in total, there's 1,830 searches. So it's quite a challenging keyword, not searches, but there's results, 1,800. So that means in total, somewhere out in the World Wide Web, there's 1,830 pages out there that in the title, it says Miami gym. So that means it's very difficult to rank for. There's a lot of searches. There's 4,000 searches a month, but it's quite challenging. Okay, so that's what you get away from this. I like that it has the cost per click. Obviously, most tools do. But now let's compare this against SEM Rush and Ahrefs. Let's see what they give us. So I'm intrigued for the results to see which one will be superior. When it comes to keyword research, guys, no tool is ever accurate. They're always few and far between when it comes to the results. So honestly, a lot of keyword research relies on intuition and what you believe could be right. But what I think when you see that it's saying 480 searches in SEM Rush, let's see what Ahrefs is saying 500, but shineranker is saying 4,000. That's quite a bit of disparity. Like it's thousands off the mark. Considering that Ahrefs and SEM Rush are very, very close, I would lean that those tools are probably in the ballpark. I would not say that this is accurate. Does that mean that it's a bad thing? Like in a way, it could be. You could write a piece of content around not necessarily this keyword, but create a website or something around focused on this keyword and be led astray. So that is where, unfortunately, the shineranker doesn't shine. But against other tools, I like that it gives you the in-title results. Like for me, in-title is a big thing because at the end of the day, Google is not going to rank something that doesn't have that keyword in the title. When they do that, the intent isn't there. So that's why seeing this and seeing that it's quite difficult, I would steer away from it, regardless of the traffic volume. So the difficulty, as you can see with SEM Rush, it shows the difficulty is 51. So it does say that it would be quite challenging, but the volume's very low. But then you jump over to Ahrefs and it says that it's relatively easy. A 13 difficulty is super, super easy. Like that's not a challenging thing to rank for. So that would just mean build a great website and she'll be right. You'll get that ranking. So if you were to trust Ahrefs, you could also be led astray. So that was back to my point before where things can be misleading when it comes to keyword tools. All right, now that we've checked that, why don't we jump into the traffic checker. So this is where we can assess a domain. We can use my domain, why not? So this is my consulting domain. It's only been around for a couple of months. Let's see how we're going. according to the Shine Ranker. So we'll stick that into the Shine Ranker, and let's get our traffic checker. We'll do the same thing over at SEMrush. And Ahrefs. And this is going to tell us an estimate. This stuff's never accurate. I'm a little bit concerned that maybe the Google Analytics data will conflict on SEMrush, but if it does, we'll just use a different website. So let's see what they have to say. Okay, so Ahrefs is saying 71 organic keywords. It's saying organic traffic, which is 9. It's saying that we lost 67 keywords, which is strange. It's saying our domain rating is 24. And it's not showing any other data, which is very weird. Now, when you come over to SEMrush, it shows 45 backlinks. It shows that organic traffic is at 14. When it comes to the organic keywords, it's saying in the US it's 29. This is a site that spans across Australia and the US. So let's just have a little bit more in-depth review of that. So we can try and ascertain how many total keywords there actually are. So it's saying 29, 7, 6, 29, 7, 6. Okay, so a few. So it's around about, probably say around about 40 to 50. So not too far away from Ahrefs. Now, when it comes to ShineRanker, it is saying that there's only 11. So it's only showing these keywords here. Like I said, guys, it's a relatively new site. We launched this at, I think it was April, start of April. So it's good that these tools are even picking anything up. The domain is a couple of months old. So it's relatively good that we've been able to achieve those results. Who would I rely on here? When compared, I'd probably lean more so towards Ahrefs. Ahrefs is normally very, very good at identifying the best keywords, what's ranking on a website. To be completely honest, that's where they've always dominated when it comes to keyword research. SEMrush, yeah, it's a bit interesting. It's a bit interesting that they would say that there's quite a disparity. The traffic volumes, I can assure you, is not right. So there's a little bit more traffic we're getting than 14 visitors. So it's saying total keywords that we have should pop up. Oh, it's saying 74. So it's saying that there's 74 keywords that we are ranking for in total. That's across the globe. So SEMrush and Ahrefs are again very similar. There are only a couple out. And ShineRanker only has 11. So where it could come a little bit problematic is if you were an SEO agency and you're trying to present to your clients, it's a lot better for me to say, hey, look, you're now ranking for 70 keywords. At least we can say that confidently. But if I was to present them with the data from ShineRanker, it's only 11. Okay, so that is where it's a little bit lacking. But what I do love about this tool is the content editor. So the content editor is brilliant. It's obviously not as good as Surfer. Surfer's, Surfer, Phrase. If you guys want to check them out, I'll put them down below. But they're the best. I use Phrase in my agency. We used to use Surfer, but it just became way too expensive for what it was providing. And then Phrase.io came along and changed the game. But again, if you don't really have the budget, this is where you want to start. So let's just say, let's do a business growth coach. Why not? You can set the location because this will crawl the SERPs and basically see what's ranking. So you can go start editing. Now, when it comes to the content editor in SEMrush, it's not great. Like it's not like, I can't even remember where exactly it is because it's not that good. We don't use it. It's content template, writing assistant. I can't remember. It's not. It's just Yeah, to be honest, it's a pretty average tool. It's not something that I would recommend anyone utilize. I don't don't encourage people to utilize it. But when it comes to the Shine Ranker, I actually do. Why? Because it's easy to follow. So it shows you what you need to do, shows you how many headings. Yes, it doesn't show you how many H2s, how many H3s like Surfer and Phrase will. But again, those tools are hundreds of dollars a month, hundreds of dollars. So to have this all displayed, I think it's absolutely exceptional that the Shine Ranker team have gone ahead and placed this in. So as you begin to obviously type, so if like we're to put in, let's say, company, this stuff will start to turn green. I think we'll have to use it a few more times, but yeah, as you can see, it's set it 5 times out of 30. So, and that's what you would do. You can obviously set all of the H1s, you can set the H2, all of the H1, all of the H2s, H3s. I think it's pretty cool. Like I said, for the price, guys, that's very, very, very good. Very, very good. There was an AI feature as well with the editor, generate content through. So I believe if you come back and let's just type. So it can generate a bit of content for you with AI. When it comes to AI, guys, I think AI is only as good as the individual utilizing it. It's like holding a hammer. If you can't hit the nail, then it's going to be terrible. So when it comes to the content here, it does look quite good from a very quick scan, but I would still need to go in and edit it. But it's very cool. Again, the price, guys. An AI tool is going to cost you a ton of money. Phrase has AI in it, which is brilliant, and it is quite good AI. But again, for the price, you can't compare. Like it's Shine Ranker is really dominating here. I think it's done exceptionally well. When it comes to the keyword competitor, so this is where you can identify a bit of competitors. So again, if we were to utilize, let's just use, let's utilize. So we'd need a competitor of mine, and this will give us the keywords that we're missing. Okay, so I'm going to need to my website. Let's go. Let's type in Fort Lauderdale. So we'll find it. What we're doing right now is we're finding a competitor. Let's just grab this guy. So we're finding a competitor, and we're going to put his domain in to match against mine and see what he's doing compared to what I'm doing, and we can ascertain what keywords I could probably implement, and what keywords like I should utilize and capitalize on and put them in my content so I can try and get a bit more. So you can go through and basically see like your rank, where you are for things. So it's telling me where I'm ranking for specific keywords, tells me where he's ranking. So he's obviously a little bit behind me. I'm blowing him out of the park with the keywords here. So I have a lot more, like substantially more keywords than this dude. So their website. So you can see like for web design, Fort Lauderdale, it's saying I'm at 71. So it's saying they're at 30. But all of these other keywords I'm ranking for, he's not even ranking for. So you can start to go through and figure out what, unfortunately, there's not really anything that he's ranking for that I'm not ranking for. But you can obviously go through and compare all your other competitors, and you can start to figure out where you could go. Now, when it comes to the Shine Audit, I really like the Shine Audit for leads and to show clients just a bit of an overview. Why? Because it's simple. If you've ever worked with Screaming Frog, it's like looking at a Picasso painting. You're trying to figure out what's going on. Was that guy mad with a paintbrush? Or like you can't figure it out. And it takes a while to learn the ropes of that. Where with the Shine Audit, like It's so simple. It's really easy. It's really like it's super easy. We can go right here. Let's stick in. Let's just stick in the competitor guy, so we can see very easily the major things that impact SEO. So, oh, that's interesting. Saying that he doesn't have it properly installed across his site. So we could let my competitor know that, hey mate, your Google Analytics isn't properly installed across your site. So that's quite interesting. And the brilliant thing with this, why I really like it, is it's not only that, it's all the information. So the H1 title, like that's very important. If you want to rank, like we were saying before, the in title stuff, you need to have this information spick and span. Like this needs to be squared away. So it should be yes. Meta description, the length, the canonical link, all of this stuff is really, really, really good. If there's an email in there, phone numbers, contact form, all of this sort of basic stuff, guys, it's brilliant. Really, really, really good. Now, if you're to go to the in-depth version, like if we jump over again to Ronald Osborne, this is the site audit. I can't run this now. It's nowhere near as quick as what the ShineRank audit is, but this is a lot more in-depth. So as you can see, like we're sitting at 90, we're down 1%. Obviously some basic things that need to be cleaned up. They'll be like CSS issues and all other things, but we can see that information. So we can actually go and try and figure out like what these warnings are. Issues with unminified JavaScript and CSS. So uncached Java. These types of low HTML to text ratio. These types of things, like it's really, really cool. This one's quite impactful. One external link is broken. That's very interesting. We should look into that. But you can't get that information from the ShineRanker. I am no fan. I'm not even going to run the site audit on Ahrefs. It's atrocious. It's not good. It's hard to figure out. Looks confusing as anything. It just doesn't make sense. But overall, the ShineRanker has a brilliant, brilliant way of just keeping it simple. So if you're just a local business owner, you don't know a lot about SEO. If you're a beginner to SEO, that's where this is brilliant. That's where you can still pitch this to clients. Because if this is all green, majority of the time, your SEO tactics and your strategy, it's going to be on point. If you get this stuff right, then honestly, that's 95% of the battle of SEO. 5% is the technical behind the curtain sort of stuff. So I think ShineRanker, for the price that you're paying, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. Again, the lead listing, we covered that. I think it's really good. I honestly like there's other tools out there that you can pay like 40, 60, 80, 90, $150 a month, and they'll spit out more detailed reports. But I'm going to be completely honest, guys. 9 times out of 10, a client that enters a free audit has no idea what they're looking at anyway. So when they would get these complex spreadsheets and these complex things saying, hey, this, and this is wrong, and you don't have a 301, or this is going on here, 404 showing up, they don't know what a 404 error is. They don't know that it's a page not found. So when you have the more complex audit tools or you have a too simplified version like SEM Rush, I don't think it gives value. But with the ShineRanker one, as I displayed before, it was brilliant. It was in depth. Anyone can look at that immediately. They can figure out, oh, Google Analytics, I don't have that. I don't have an SSL certificate. That's where I think it's really, really good. I think it's really, really good. When it comes to the cons of the ShineRanker, so I do have a couple of cons with it. The fact is, you're not able to analyze backlinks. Obviously, that's something that they need to integrate in the tool, and it's something that Chase has talked about. Chase is the owner of ShineRanker, is that they will be adding that in the future. And I really hope they do, because that's where it's lacking. Like, to be completely honest, if you need to look at backlinks and you need to figure out what backlinks your competitor has, you can scrape by with the free Ahrefs tool. Honestly, it can be done. But if you were to be more serious about backlinks, you would need to still look at using one of the other tools. So that is to be considered. That's once they include that on here, I will be very, very happy with this tool. I think this tool will just blow the other two out of the water for the price point. The other thing is, again, that you can't really get into the weeds of a site audit. So when there's significant problems, you can't really drill down to find that there might be a real deep problem that's causing reasons that your, let's say your site map's no good, and you want to be able to identify that. Unfortunately, you can't do that on the ShineRanker. So that's a little bit where it's a con. Something that I love, I absolutely adore about SEM Rush is the fact that they have the chatbot down there. It'd be awesome if ShineRanker can include that if there are any issues. But again, SEM Rush offers, like as you can see, our subscription here, we just have so many more options to do so many more things. So the likelihood that you will need to chat with an individual is significant and highly. When it comes to the pros, it's just the price, guys. Like, it's exceptional for what you're paying. I can't get over how much Chase has made it. I think it's really good. The price for the ShineRanker, it's $297 for the year, or it's $75 a month. So that's ridiculously cheap, considering that we pay for SEO tools on average around about $500 a month. That's including the phrase, that's including SEMrush, that's including some other backlink like Majestic, a smaller version of Majestic. If you're a local business owner, if you're a beginner to SEO, if you want to start to become a part of the SEO world, start here. Start with the ShineRanker. Do not start with the SEMrush. Do not start with the Ahrefs, because you just don't need it. You don't need it. If you're a local business owner and you're trying to figure out how to improve your business, $300, you can have access to this for a year and try and fix your site. Or you can pay our agency a couple of $100 more and we can go in and fix it. So if you're game and you have a bit of an understanding of SEO, this tool enables you to apply the principles that will get the needle moving. So when the prices for, like, these are the prices for SEMrush. Lowest plan is $119 a month, $229 for Guru and $449 for the business. And pretty much the same with Ahrefs, $99, $199. Like, guys, it's ludicrous. I would never, ever buy or recommend that you buy the lowest tier tools for these two services, because they're terrible. Like, this is an honest review, guys, an honest review of ShineRanker and the other two and how it stacks up. So I'll just be honest, like 5 reports a month, PDF reports a month. That's every time we have a client, we normally generate around about 3 or 4 different reports. So as soon as you work with the second client, you need to upgrade. So to 229. I think that's ludicrous. I think it's just ludicrous, the pricing points. So if you are a business owner, if you're getting into SEO, ShineRanker is where you should start. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed that. If you want me to cover anything else when it comes to the ShineRanker, put the comments down below. If you've actually gained, wow, great time to lose my voice. If you've actually gained valuable insight and you're going to consider purchasing the ShineRanker, please give me a like, guys. I love making these videos. I hope that I've helped you understand the pros and cons and how the ShineRanker stacks up against SEMrush and Ahrefs, the weak points, the strong points, and how to use it. I hope you have a lovely day. I hope you enjoyed this video. Cheers.